shame if they blew up?
Uh,
I'm not sure this
That's
opening
the
story's
most
gone
passive
very well.
aggressive. Oh man, wouldn't it be a shame
It
if
would
they blew
it would
up?
be a shame.
Wouldn't it be a shame if they blew up? Yeah, would be a
I
shame.
mean, if there's
That's,
footage,
that's such an invitation, Mark, to be
yeah,
like, be a shame if they blew up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, it's a real nice hut you got here. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Be a
Be a
shame, eh?
shame if someone blew it up.
Hello and welcome back to Archaeo Scoop. This is the show.
Where we record every week because Mark didn't want to record last week. And so now this is not a semi-nightly program anymore, but a weekly program.
Excuse me while I just intern. I roll my eyes so
Inter
hard.
yourself,
Yes.
just put
Yeah,
a
yeah,
blanket
yeah.
over yourself.
In terms, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like SpongeBob. Yeah. Well, yes, this is that show, and this week it is my turn to go first with a news story, and I've just this second landed on the one I'm going to talk about, and this is a fascinating headline published 18 hours ago as of recording. Potential explosive hazards at Shackleton and Scott's historically important huts in Antarctica.
Did they find a bomb? Oh, okay, in Antarctica.
Yeah. So, in short, Ernest Shackleton's Nimrod hut and Captain Robert Falcon Scott's Terra Nova hut are two of the most significant examples of early exploration in Antarctica. But a new report has warned of the possible presence of several potentially explosive chemicals at the huts, including one that is more powerful than TNT. Old chemicals found inside two of Antarctica's most significant historic huts could pose potential explosive hazards, a report has warned. Ernest Shackleton's Nimrod hut at Cape Royds and Captain Robert Falcon Scott's Terra Nova hut at Cape Evans are considered time capsules of the heroic age of early exploration in Antarctica. Shackleton's hut was built in 1908 as part of the Anglo-Irish explorer Ernest Shackleton's Nimrod expedition, and the cabin was used as a base for several missions, including getting to within 180 kilometres of geographic South Pole in 1909, the farthest south anyone had been at that time. That is so British. That's so British to say that. Well, actually, yes, we got within 180 kilometers of the South Pole, the furthest south anyone's been at that time. At that time, I think you'll find. Yeah.
I think you'll.
Yeah, I think you'll find. Scott's hut was erected in 1911 and was the starting point for Scott's ill-fated mission to the South Pole. The British Explorers Party reached the landmark 34 days after Norwegian Roald Amundsen, yeah, team claimed the glory. No, I know. I just, just tripping over letters. Scott and his four colleagues died on their way, on their return journey to Cape Evans. The two huts, which are managed by New Zealand, have undergone restorations in recent decades. Each year, they are visited by hundreds of tourists on cruise ships and expeditioners from nearby research stations. But at last month's annual meeting of Arctic Treaty Nations, New Zealand tabled a report to remind parties about the safety risks first raised in last year's meeting. In 2025, New Zealand reported that chemicals inside Scott's hut, Cape Evans, and Shackleton's hut, Cape Royds, were assessed to be potential explosive hazards due to possible presence of picric acid crystals and peroxide crystals, the report states.
I thought it was going to be chlorine gas, to be honest with you.
Well, and that's the thing, this stuff will be off-gassing. The report does not detail the amount of chemicals in the huts, nor the types of containers that they're in. The chemicals only detonate under certain conditions, apparently. Nathan Killer, an associate professor in chemistry at the University of Tasmania, was not involved in the assessment of the chemicals in the huts, but he told ABC, this is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, that when those types of chemicals were found in laboratories in Australia, often the bomb squad would be called to ensure their safe disposal. As an example of the risk, he said picric acid had a higher relative effectiveness factor. That's a fascinating terminology. Effectiveness factor as an explosive than TNT. If it were to detonate near a person, he said, it would cause significant injuries in the same way other explosives could. So in that sense, it sounds like a high explosive. And the black,
According to Looney Tunes, how long is the wire attached to it?
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah, exactly. Dr. Killer said that the substances in the huts were, if they
Is
were
his name
proven,
Dr. Killer?
yeah, Killer, Kilah,
Oh, Killer. Okay.
Killer, yeah,
Killer.
Killer.
She's a killer queen, gunpowder gelatine, dynamite with a dynamite with a.
If they were proven to be picric acid crystals, and a solution and peroxide crystals, that they could only detonate under certain conditions, and these included being exposed to fire, heat, friction, or shock, such as being dropped or knocked. So there is an explosion risk for all these substances, he said. But with the fact that they had been in there for so long, it really highlights that an explosion is not necessarily inherent to it just sitting on the shelf. So something needs to happen. And that would
Don't give people ideas, okay? Don't give people ideas.
Well,
I
I mean,
can
maybe
hear it coming.
maybe you could sort of send. I can imagine one of these cruises turning up and just some brat just throwing marbles at the picric acid. Yeah.
Can't. It's not allowed to go in there. It's Mrs. Humphrey's secret place in there. Dares you.
We're all working hard to remedy any potential risk and to deal with it and make sure that we communicate with everybody. Ms. Poirot said. Poirot. Nice. Ms.
You know
Poirot.
what? You need to do the mustache twirl,
Yeah, exactly.
Monsieur Poirot.
This is Sacha Poirot, Antarctic, New Zealand General Manager of Policy and Environment. So apparently measures have been put in place to reduce any risks to visitors. But it is fascinating that the way that chemicals used to be handled, the way that they used to be brought along on these sorts of expeditions, and the way that these sort of time capsule spaces exist can often result in remarkably dangerous scenarios. There are examples of old shops here in the UK that were boarded up in the early 1900s or something,
Yeah,
and
but
then
that's the good stuff.
opened
You
up in
just
the
have chlorine
60s.
gas on the shelf.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing.
Chlorine gas,
Formaldehyde. Yeah, absolutely.
ionizing particles, all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting.
Radiation tubes,
Exactly, yeah, and radiation tubes,
Tuesday.
tubes. Mind the gap. Mind the gap between the shells. Anyway, it's fascinating. Potential explosive hazard at Shackleton and Scott's. It's historically important huts in Antarctica. It would be a shame if they blew up. I'm not sure this opening story's gone very well.
Oh my, wouldn't it be a shame if they blew up?
It would be a shame.
Wouldn't it be a shame if they blew up?
I mean, if there's footage.
That's such an invitation, Mark, to be like,
Yeah.
it'd be a shame if they blew up.
Yeah. Hey, it's a real nice hut you got here. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Be a shame,
Be a
eh?
shame if someone blew it up. I apologize if my face throughout that was making funny faces because my first story comes from CBS, and I did not realize that no matter what you do, you cannot turn off their like live news ticker thing
Okay.
on the side. And so since I just recently spent a weekend in the States after not being there for like 25 years, in the Atlanta airport, there was just constant news, but specifically like 24-hour sports news everywhere. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, ugh. And I totally forgot that this was a thing. And then as I opened the CBS website, so this way I could tell you about my first story, the news is just constant barrage of instant news. And I'm just like desperately trying to find out how to close it. You can't, it's just there.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I apologize if I went throughout the whole of this. I'm just having like the explosions happen and like the PTSD of like
Yeah.
American news.
You're like
packed with-
Neo being force-fed kung fu.
Yeah. No, that's a pleasant thing. That this is
Okay.
like the meme of like the dog looking in the background. You just see like the explosions from Vietnam going
Yeah.
off, and that's exactly what's
Yeah.
happening.
Or the chimps.
My
The chimps in 28 Days Later.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. of my first story, as I am combating the American garbage on the right side of the screen, is something I told Mark that I wanted to use because I thought it was just too good. Scientists find yeast in frozen mummy's guts.
Yeah.
Good old Ötzi. Use it to make sourdough bread. Yeast has been growing. Remember, our on our Archaeoscoop, can you lick it?
Yeah.
In this case, yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's not the Roman bread. It's not the bog cheese.
Uh,
But this is yeast from Ötzi, and yes, you can lick it. Yeast has been growing inside the guts of Ötzi the Iceman for thousands of years. Man, that must have some crazy antibacterial properties in there. I tell you what. They used it to make sourdough bread more than 5,300 years ago, before the Egyptian pyramids were built. And since this comes from an American site, I'm sure they're going to measure something in washing machines. Ötzi was strolling through the Alps on the borders of Austria and Italy when he was killed by an arrow in the back, or so we think.
was
Uh,
yeah, was he?
yeah, was he? Was
Mm,
he? We don't know, was he?
yeah.
He it may have been an old wound, we don't know. He remained frozen in the ice until two German hikers stumbled across the mummified remains in 1991. But then, the stunningly well-preserved remains have been kept at the same temperature, -6 degrees Celsius, the perfect temperature, as his icy tomb. As all perimenopausal women will know, that is the perfect sleeping temperature, -6 degrees Celsius. As
I'm just
Ötzi
imagining
has
you.
probably been having the best sleep of his fucking life for the last 5,000 years. I tell you,
I'm just
none of
imagining you laying out like a -6 degrees Celsius cool pad on the floor and just yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
please. Um, for the latest research published in Microbiome Journal on Wednesday, an Italian-based team found evidence that both ancient and modern microbial life maintain active in the frozen body. What we did not expect to find was yeast, lead study author Mohammed Saran says. And so they actually have the body of like Ötzi, like
Yeah.
still in his amazingly delicious. I mean, his ankle looks a bit broken, but other than
Is
that, he
it is
looks
his
like
arm still?
yep, his arm's still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He's frozen. He's not being
Yeah.
moved. So his arm is still frozen and his ankle looks twisted. But by God, the man looks like he's had a great night's sleep.
Yeah.
His body hosts living, metabolically capable organisms that are actively responding to their environment, Saran told Reuters. The cold adapted yeasts are growing. So are mine, Ötzi. You're not special. Certain bacteria have colonized and persisted across his tissues for decades. Me too. The mummy is, in a very real sense, a living biological interface, a meeting point where between the ancient world and the present, where microbes from 5,000 years ago coexist with organisms that arrived in the last decade. And the next title is A Very Good Sourdough. The scientists discovered 4 different yeasts that can survive sub-zero temperatures in
Yeah.
Ötzi's guts, skin, and water that melted off his body. When he was
Yeah.
partially unfrozen. So he's got the gelatinous cube gel going.
Yeah.
These kinds of yeasts only live in very cold conditions, such as Antarctica, so are believed to have entered Ötzi's body at some point after he died. Genetic analysis revealed DNA damage levels very comparable to original microbes in the Iceman's guts, suggesting the yeast entered his body soon after death. These yeasts have accompanied Ötzi on his long journey through millennia, says study co-author Frank Meixner says in his statement. The scientists then reproduce the gut yeast in a fridge. If you tell anyone you have yeast, they'll immediately ask, "Can we use it for bread?" That's not what I would immediately ask.
No, that's not. That's not. If you tell someone I've got
No.
yeast, that's not what I am. No.
No. All the ladies in chat, press X for doubt.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Press X for doubt. It initially didn't work, said the microbiologist. But after 3 months of effort, we had a very, very good sourdough.
Okay. Okay.
When asked if the scientists were considering using these to brew beer, he responded, "It's on the list." Ötzi's making money after he's going on. And so they've got wonderful photos. You can read the rest of it yourself. But he's still there, hanging backwards off the rock with
Yeah.
his broken elbow and his arm across. Ötzi, you are delicious. Stay delicious, as Garen says.
I yeah. Well, so I came across this story and obviously I shared the link with you and you were like, oh yeah, I was saving that. And I obviously there's nothing. It's okay. So they're saying this is an interface where ancient and modern microorganisms are interacting and meeting. I think it's probably worth just saying we're not talking about literal bacteria that was around 5,000 years ago. This is essentially an isolated colony, I guess, organism, environment. A little bit like the pools that they drill into in Antarctica, funnily enough, going back to the last story. Where you get microorganisms and small invertebrates which have been isolated in the dark in that water for millennia. So this isn't like they've thawed out a frozen microbe that'll be like, oh, well, it's not the Bronze Age anymore. What's going on? And you'd be like, sorry, kid, we got iPads. And
The bacteria are like, what if we colonize those iPads?
Yeah,
And suddenly
exactly.
a kid somewhere goes, choo. And there you go.
yeah, exactly. Next thing you know, everyone's becoming sourdough bread. They're becoming it's like the
I too am baking a yeast.
becoming sourdough bread. So there's that. So essentially, he represents an isolated a biome, I guess. But it's interesting, this thing of using it to make bread. I mean, I guess this is coming full circle, really, in so much as we often talk about, forbidden foods. There's forbidden wines, forbidden cheese.
Can you lick it? Can you lick it?
Can you lick it? Mammoth meat.
Good old bog butter from Ireland. You can't eat it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would try the Ötzi beer, I think.
No, I would eat the bread for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Would you?
Don't say that they're going to be making money off this man for so long.
Would you want to put the Irish bog butter on the Ötzi bread?
I'd eat it. I'd eat it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink that Roman wine though.
No, that looked bad. That looked like treacly vinegar. Yeah. Sorry.
What's your second story, Mark?
Sorry. That grosses you out like that. That's your line.
When you actually see what that Roman wine looked like, you
Yeah.
go, "Oh, that's not drinkable. That's not potable at all.
No,
There's
no.
no way."
No. Okay. Well, my second story is from Live Science, and I thought this was one that you would appreciate because we get to use quite possibly the best moment in all of the Tolkien legendarium as part of this discussion. So the headline is, thanks to natural selection, indigenous Andeans may digest potatoes better than anyone else in the world. Study finds. Potatoes. Yep. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Now you need the remix. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in
Yeah.
the stew.
What's turtles, huh? Potatoes. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, boil 'em, mash 'em, boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Yeah.
Boil 'em.
After domesticating potatoes 10,000 years ago, the ancient people of the Andes evolved to have more copies of a key gene involved in digesting starch. And indigenous Andeans in Peru may be able to digest potatoes and other starches more easily than anyone else in the world. Scientists have discovered that indigenous Andeans may have more copies of this gene for saliva-based starch digestion enzymes called amylase than any other population worldwide. Natural selection drove the surge in amylase genes following the local domestication of potatoes around 10,000 years ago, according to the study published May 5th in the journal Nature Communications. And I'm just going to do, as I always do, I'm just going to check. And it is open access. Yay. Very good, very good. You can download the PDF and check it out. Amylase is human saliva breaks complex starch down into simple sugars, making the starch easier to digest. Populations worldwide differ in the number of gene copies that encode for amylase, but more copies means more amylase production and presumably improved starch digestion. Now they're saying here presumably. I wonder if that's an aspect of the study that hasn't been followed through. On average, people around the world have 7 copies of amylase gene, but indigenous Andeans in Peru possess an average of 10 copies. People with a higher number of amylase.
Super potato people.
Yeah, super potato people. They have 1.2 4% higher chance of surviving and reproducing than those with fewer copies. Interesting.
The potatoes propagate themselves.
Yeah, that's that. So let me just reread that. People with a higher number of amylase genes had a 1.2% higher chance of surviving and reproducing than the. Okay, I guess if you're eating the potatoes and you're happy to eat those potatoes, then you're gonna, people
Human
gonna,
evolution happening before our eyes.
yeah.
More
Well,
potato having people. Propagating more potato having people.
yeah, but also as well, I guess if someone has cooked you a beautiful potato hash or something, and you really can digest that, the people are going to find you attractive. Well,
I do wonder actually about the potential for eating raw potatoes, because raw potatoes, as you know, are mildly
yeah,
poisonous. And there are reports of people in Ireland during famine times eating half raw potatoes, where they would cook they would cook it a bit on the outside, and then they would eat it, and then they would leave the inside for later. But I wonder how them having more of this amylase in their saliva, and I wonder if that translates to being able to digest the mildly poisonous part of raw potatoes. I wonder.
that's a fair question. Apparently, previous analyses of genomes in Peruvians of indigenous South American ancestry revealed signs of selection for intestinal starch digestion
Okay.
enzymes. So I guess so. But also, this is starch, because I've forgotten what the compound is that builds up in the potatoes.
The starch.
Is it a starchy one, the poisonous one? Yeah. That adaptation was likely the result of indigenous Andean populations having domesticated potatoes as early as 10,000 years ago. In 2024, the team identified variation in the structure of salivary amylase genes across global populations, but the cause of that variation was unclear. To figure out what caused the difference, in the new study, the team created a map of salivary amylase genes copy numbers. So that's the key thing.
It's the
number of copies.
potatoes in the background that they harvest going,
Yeah, lick me. Go on, do it.
can you lick it?
The functional advantage of having more salivary amylase copies is unknown, though. Interestingly, this is seemingly a correlation. The scientists said it could have something to do with the microbiome, metabolism, and immune system. For instance, people with more copies of the gene may get more calories from cooked potatoes. He and his team are now running experiments to clarify these potential relationships. So at the moment, they've identified more copies of the genes. So there's a very strong hint that these folks, this population, is likely better at digesting potatoes. But I guess now the question is exactly how and what benefits that brings with it. And as you say, I guess there's a question with the immune system in terms of potential poisonous compounds within potatoes as well. So, yeah. But anyway, yes, potatoes, FT dubs.
My second story is something that we all hate, but because I saw the headline, I had to include it. And so
Okay.
it says, this is from Archaeum News, and it says, Roman era strategy game discovered.
Oh, is this similar to? Okay, go on.
Roman era strategy game discovered in the city walls in Turkey. And so here it is. The ancient board game carved into the marble block at Apollonia in northwestern Turkey offered a rare glimpse into how people spent their leisure time in one of, I think it's Bithynia? I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if I'm not saying the Turkish pronunciation correctly. Important lakeside cities. The stone identified as 9 bad boys.
I knew that was coming. And the thing is, you
The
say
worst
spend their
fucking
leisure
game
time.
is history.
Yeah, they didn't spend that. They just passed time. That's what they would do. They're just passing time.
I'd rather pass gas than play Roman Wars.
exactly.
Board game was found reused in a building block in a fortification in the wall of Apollonia. Although the block had later become part of the city's defensive architecture, carefully worked surface shows that it was once served its very different purpose. A board for one of the ancient world's most enduring strategy games. Remember, most enduring does not mean good.
No.
The find was examined by Gonca Gulsefa. Again, apologize for not saying the Turkish pronunciation. And published in the Nevşehir Haçi Valley University. Again, apologies for the non-Turkish pronunciation. According to the study, the board is significant not only because of its form, but also because it adds Apollonia to the still limited list of documented ancient gaming sites. And so there you go. Boys, it's a board hidden inside a city wall. So they had the board, they repolished it, and then they used it to build the city. And so when they took it apart, they actually found the old board, and you can actually see it.
Are we sure that the board was hidden in the wall and actually it wasn't facing out and boring to death anyone who might attempt to attack the city?
That is my question, because the way that it was rebuilt, you can actually see they've moved away a piece of the wall, and you can see that the board is actually facing the outside.
Yeah.
And that is what I think. I think it was.
You want a piece of this city? Look at what we've got here. You've got.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you want a piece of this city. Beat this first.
Okay. Yeah.
Beat this first, or essentially, or using it as a talisman to ward off people. To go, no, mate, no. That they got that game. No. And they just walk away. We have Mancala. Fuck these guys.
Exactly. We can't besiege this city. These people are look how patient they are. They have this. Yeah. This is their idea of fun.
This is, of course, it goes on to say that the game was known by many names across different cultures, including Morels, Mills, the mill game. They should have called it the mill game because it'll grind your patience into fucking nothing. And Nine Man Morris, the variants using 3, 6, 9, or even 12 pieces. The Apollonia example follows the classic 9-piece form. Fuck you, Romans. And so, but obviously, this is not only an ancient Roman game. Obviously, it became popular in Romans, especially among soldiers. But some researchers have linked early forms to ancient Egypt. While secure archaeological examples appear across the Mediterranean, Anatolia, and medieval Europe. And so, of course, they go on to talk about the history of the game, what the board tells us about daily life, that they'd rather play this than watch paint dry. I'd rather watch paint dry, to be completely honest with you. But the stone is very cool. It's actually quite big. Yeah. And they do have a 50-centimeter board in there to show you how big it was. No bananas. But it's quite big. It's about this big, and you can see the board very clearly scraped into the rock. And so I guess they just had to reuse this rock for building purposes, and they tried to scrape it away. But that's up.
Or someone was really annoyed they lost the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the ancient version of a table flip.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Building a fortification on this and using it as a foundation stone, so nobody will be able to play this ever again.
Yeah. People are like, but hang on, this wasn't a defended city until Gaius over there lost a board game, and now we've got a wall.
Gaius is at the corner like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nine Man Morris is just trash. It is the souped up version. It's like nuclear tic-tac-toe. It's like there is a way to win, and there's only one way to win. And if you don't get that way to win, you'll never win. So you might as well just give up halfway through the game.
Yeah, or build a city wall. Yeah.
Or take it, table flip it, and then put it under a city wall so nobody can ever play that thing again. There are many different. Mancala is always good.
Actually, I was going to say I was introduced to Mancala on the Switch. Was it 50 something board games game that they have, and that's so satisfying. I don't know if you've seen. With the sound effects and the colors of the gems.
Oh, absolutely! The sound effects, the click clacks, wonderful. Literally, fucking anything is better than this game. And I do not know how Rome built such an empire on the basis of fucking Nine Man Morris, the worst game in history. This is I can't understand it. Like, they had so many other things that were interesting or cool. They made fucking hypercourse heating. The same civilization that is responsible for hypercourse heating
and
baths.
Whoever I reckon someone was like, I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to go and solve the problem of
I'm not
getting
going to play
water
that
into
game.
Rome.
I'm
Yeah,
going to go take over Anatolia.
yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm going to
exactly.
do.
Yeah,
I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to make the Byzantine Empire.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
you know what it is? We're not going to have Western trash games. We're going to make our own empire, and we're going to have better games,
yeah, better board games.
like
Yeah,
like backgammon. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No,
I
exactly.
know.
Well, they found another one, and I should say I rolled my eyes when you said, "Yeah, this adds to the list of places where the game was being played." That is significant. It was more just a case of, in all
It
honesty,
adds to the list of places where the game has been played and then immediately trashed.
yeah,
That's what I
exactly,
think.
yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
also,
what's this game? I don't know. The Romans are
no,
playing it. Should we
no,
try? And then they
no,
try and they go, nope, put it under the
yeah.
fortification.
Well, and the reason why I slightly sigh at that is that the other story I was thinking of sharing was to do with a bathhouse shoe that was found in
Oh,
Vindolanda this year. So
nice.
they there was a recent news article about it, and now I'm talking about it. I will put it up on screen. I'll share a link below. But I just get a little bit. I still, unfortunately, get a little bit bored of Roman stuff, because we know an awful lot about how Romans lived, and it's not actually remarkable that they were playing Nine Men's Morris. It's
You know it's
interesting,
not
I guess, that
remarkable.
it's turned up.
You know what you don't get bored of, Mark? And I know
Mhm.
you don't. This is why it's my border story. Poop. My bonus story is all about this is great. This is
Okay,
great.
yep.
Scientists dug through ancient squirrel poop and found a huge surprise. It is a this much squirrel poop. It's like
Hmm.
a squirrel poop reservoir. It looks like fermented peanuts. It's
Okay.
horrible. Frozen squirrel poop feces preserved ancient DNA for 700,000 years. This is great. A huge
Wow.
treasure trove of ancient DNA from animals, including extinct woolly mammoths, has been discovered in frozen squirrel poop in Canada, in the Yukon Territory.
Okay.
This is our contribution to
Yeah.
archaeology. The DNA found deep inside sealed off burrows between 3,000 and 700,000 years old, offering a rare window into how life was changed over the millennia, as well as DNA from woolly mammoths. Uh, Genetic material was also found from wolves, bison, not buffaloes, bison,
Mm.
horses, cheetahs, and hundreds of plants. And this comes from Tyler Murky, a paleogenomics researcher at Canada's McMaster University and lead author of the new study, admits that digging through squirrel poop might sound less appealing than discovering a mammoth tusk. However, the spectacular amount of information they uncovered suggests that feces is an overlooked way to see our planet's distant past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, do we know how mammoth? I understand possibly how plant material gets in there, but is there an explanation? Is this something that the squirrels ate, or?
Yeah, so it says here that the squirrels are only conscious for around 4 months of the year in that part of the world. Squirrels
Uh-huh.
here don't hibernate, spending the rest of their life. So when they are awake in the Yukon, they've got to get out there and eat as much as they can, and they eat everything. So squirrels pack their burrows with nuts, seeds, leaves, bones,
Okay.
fur, and anything else that they find. And so over time, rising permafrost permanently sealed off some of the burrows in the Yukon, creating perfectly preserved time capsule. Murky said they found even a super cute little guy frozen in time. He just went
Wow.
to sleep one season and he never woke up.
Never woke up. No. Okay, that is interesting. And as you say, poop is always interesting.
Poop's always a good one.
Always a good one.
Poop is better than Nine Man Morris.
It is. It's better than gold, to be honest. It just is.
Well, as an archaeological perspective, yeah, it is.
Yeah. In terms of the information it can give you, and also in this instance,
We need now Laura Dern putting her hand in the giant thing of poop, going, you sure they don't eat these?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Every 6 weeks, brats.
yeah. There's that, but obviously there's also there's the meme of it being one big pile of shit.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad that you brought poop to the table.
Eh,
Um,
always glad to bring Nine Man Morris to be completely trounced by poop.
yeah, absolutely. You proved your point. You proved your point beyond the shadow of a doubt. Mhm. Well, folks, that has been this episode. It's been
It's been this week's episode, and next week we'll have another episode.
Next week we'll be recording, but you'll be seeing it in 2 weeks' time. But yes, no, it's been a good episode. If, as ever, there's anything that you want us to take a look at, please do comment below. On the previous episode, there was a comment about the discovery of Millennium Falcon in some context. I'm going to have to look into that. But yeah, any and everything, we'll happily take your tips and run with them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.